Hello, everybody. It's Kathy at Nothing So Strange, and I have a free hour to make a video. It's so exciting, and I thought I would talk about. Well, first of all, I thought I should make a what decks I'm using this month spooky decks video, and then I thought I don't have that many spooky decks, and then I started pulling them out and realized I actually have a lot of spooky decks. I just don't think about them that way. So. This is my spooky deck, October deck, Halloween deck, whatever video. First of all, I'll talk about things I was going to put in and didn't. I was thinking, okay, Somnia, which I adore. It's dark. It's a dark deck, but I started flipping through the cards thinking about talking about it, and then I realized the grass is green. It can't be an October deck because the grass is green. And so it's out. Much loved deck, not spooky season. So that left me with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. We're still doing okay. First thing I want to talk about is the Bloodlands. I adore this so very much. So very much. Although, it's funny, it's called the Bloodlands, and it's all black and white, and it's very dramatic. A lot of people have done a walkthrough of this. I do not believe I have done a walkthrough, although I've showed cards from it a lot. But when it comes to using this deck, and I am using it right now for the season, it really, despite the almost bleakness of some of the images and the starkness and whatnot, it is very much a reassuring deck for me. I think just the communication with the natural world and the messages found there is something very soothing to me, even if it's, darkness or eruption. Anyway, could not be more beautiful. The guidebook is very nice, and the guidebook gives meanings for reversals, so there they are. Anyway, very much a favorite deck year-round, but especially suited to this season. I guess that was one reason I was having a hard time thinking of decks for this season, as I am spooky year-round. I have a spooky curiosity shop. I just love this season. And so, same thing going here. Roses, Dust, and Ashes, which I adore. I absolutely adore. And since it's cemetery symbols, why are you being so stubborn? Since it's cemetery symbols, yeah, it's good for this month. But honestly, cemeteries feel year-round to me. There's a sense in which they're a little bit springish to me. It's nothing like a good old picnic in a cemetery in the spring. But it's in for the spooky season because it is cemetery symbols. And again, something else that I use year-round and adore. But such good keywords here. But it's appropriate for spooky season. Do not think I ever did a walkthrough of this. So many decks I get, and I think, oh, everybody's seen this, and then a year later I see a bunch of people doing walkthroughs and realize, oh, maybe I should have walked through. maybe everybody hadn't seen it after all. So, my second spooky deck, Roses, Dust, and Ashes. And that's by Stacy Williams-Ng at Panther Studios. And we also know from the Southern Gothic Oracle. And I'm bringing this out because of the Haunts expansion, which I have shuffled in here. Actually, I prepped a little bit. I went through beforehand and pulled the Haunts out so that I could show them to you. And she's expanded the Haunts expansion to the Southern Gothic into a whole deck of itself, which I need to get. I need to add it to the shop. I was just hoping to sell a little stock down before I order even more cards. Anyway, these are great. The Candlelight Spirit, the Bell Witch, Crimes of Passion, and that's a regular deck. The Boo Hag, Vampire of Richmond. And I have said before, I live right outside Richmond, and I used to, when I lived in Richmond, I lived a block from Hollywood Cemetery, where the Vampire of Richmond is supposed to be. Beautiful cemetery. I need to do a film there. Bride of Annandale, Mothman, Hellhound, Conjured Spirit. And then, some of the Southern Gothic itself, Mojo Bag, Crossroads, Blessed Child. There's that sense of Southern spookiness, because we are spooky. Well, every part of the country is spooky, but we are very Gothic spooky. All our Spanish moss and old cemeteries and what have you. And so, ooh, listen to that wind. I don't think the nor'easters, it's a rainy day. I don't think we're supposed to get the big nor'easter here, though. Let's talk about the Horror Tarot. I love this, by Todd Alcott, who did the Pulp Tarot, which I have, and there's a sci-fi one, which I don't have yet and really want, but that's better. The awesome thing about this, I think I have it in order to talk about it, is his pictures are so fun, but he had themes for each suit and the majors. And so the majors are imaginary horror movies. I should do this so you see them better. So we have these imaginary horror movies, and they sound at times a bit like existing horror movies. They're so good. I love that Hermit. I loved the Chariot. The Hanged Man is great. But they have the taglines, and the Horror Tarot presents, and all the little stuff you would see on a movie poster. So good. Just so good. Some of these, I'm like, didn't I see that movie? I swear I saw that movie, because he does it so well. I mean, even the sun. Creepy little child. Nothing burns hotter. How funny is that? Terrifying. Makes me think of, what's that movie? Jeepers Creepers. Yeah. Spiky. Spooky. Okay, so then the, let me think, what are the wands? Okay, the wands are the tribute to classic horror posters. So we have our, some really easy ones, Dracula, and that's Nosferatu, and Jekyll and Hyde. Oh, that's like they live. Oh, definitely Body Snatchers, Hunchback, Exorcist, Shining. So, just these great tributes. The cups are tributes to 80s horror paperbacks. They're so good. They're just so good. So many 80s horror paperbacks had the scary children. And then let's see, swords are 50s horror comics. So good with these faces. And then they, featuring, good heavens, it's hard to see in this light. Unburdening, Rite of Passage, Transition. So good. Featuring Heartbreak, Pain and Sorrow, Grief, and can't read that one. As I said, it's very cloudy. The camera, at least, camera seems to be picking up light. I am nearly out of the screen. Okay, and then Pentacles is what era? I'll have to double check the guidebook. He says all this in the guidebook. Pentacles. '30s and '40s. Okay. 30s and 40s horror. And this would be the 30s and 40s pulp magazines. And here I am doing a whole walkthrough. Oh, I got a wands and a cup at the end. What do you know? Okay, so that was the Horror Tarot by Todd Alcott. Love it. But again, I'm just not seasonal. I use that year round. I've done a walkthrough of the Ghost Tarot before. I will not go through the whole thing. I'll show some of my favorite cards. And again, this is ghostly, but I do think it's more about grief and loss than, boo, scary. But the cards are just gorgeous. I put my favorites on top, like I said, some of them, so you could see, but they're all just beautiful and spectacular. This is a Los Scarabeo, still available. It's a few years old now, and it's by David or David. Yes, David Corsi. And just marvelous. And very appropriate to the season, although I use it year round. That is how I roll. Okay, and now I'm coming up on one that feels explicitly Halloweenish, finally, and that would be the Jack-o'-lantern Tarot. And this one, there's some things I adore about this. And the first one would be these backs. They're so beautiful. They're so beautiful. And love, one of my favorite things is there's always cool things going on in the background. And, you know, that's a great moon right there. And just the details. Look at the bat wings on the hat. Just a lot going on. And so it's fun to look at. A lot of the clouds have faces. And look at that. It's not only it's hard to tell if that's owls or crows. Probably owls because there's owls all through here. But they're also, the cloud there is also like a jack-o'-lantern with them making his face. So really just beautiful here. A lot going on. Look at the cloud being a skull there. I sorted through and put some of the good ones on the top. Look at how the tree is a body. And another spooky bird. Just beautiful. There's a scary sun. I love the cities in the background when there's cities. And what is going on here? What is the horse trampling? A different sun? And so just gorgeous. Really, my only complaint with this, there's another face in the clouds, is that everybody's clothes just seem a little too tight. Oh, I love the Seven of Cups. Look at the crow here and the scarecrow being the one to witness. Look at that little guy. There's one of our spooky owls. Okay, so his clothes aren't too tight. Oh, love it. Riding an owl. Carrying a jack-o'-lantern. Beautiful. Look at the clothing. Oh, I love this one with the skull. The archway and the family. Another owl. And this detail here. But yeah, okay. This is what I'm talking about. So often people's pants are going up their butt, and it makes me like, it gives me like pain even to see pants going up butts, you know. And it's distracting from how beautiful is the rest of this card. Absolutely beautiful. The sun and the moon there. Skeleton animals. The towers. So yeah, I do love this. And if people weren't walking around with so many wedgies, it would be absolute top of the heap. Look at the vultures. Love vultures. But yeah, it's great for this time of year. And it's out of print now. I think it's still fairly available. I know I still have it in my shop. So it's around. Again, Jack-o'-lantern Tarot. And who's that again? Juliana Costa. Highly recommended, even if everybody has a wedgie. And finally, this is the deck that I am using the most right now. And it's another one that, you know, is year-round, but very, very appropriate to this month. The Santa Muerte. This is just so beautiful. If I haven't looked at it in a little while and I take it out again, I'm always amazed at the beauty of it. So I'll just flip through. It's a Los Scarabeo. I really like their cards. And I just love every single thing about this deck. Look at the skulls, the buildings in the background, and this kind of wallpaperish design. Just beautiful. And some very unusual interpretations of the cards. I look at that very Escher-like tower. I stick to the guidebook for a lot of these cards because it does present interpretations with a slight twist from what I'm used to. Look at the heart-shaped eyes. Look at the bones. I suppose those are foot bones. Oh, and here we have a rib cage. And wow. Look how incredibly beautiful the skulls underground sending up flowers. And sometimes it's very RWS. That's pretty RWS there. And I have said this before, I love that Death is pregnant. Not the Empress, but Death. Oh, and this card, when I open my deck, oh no, it's not her. It's the Queen of Swords. Sometimes I'm just, what? And I read the guidebook and it all makes sense. Heck of a chariot. I love how there's music playing in cards. How's that for the world? So the cards are just scary too. Look at that, 4 of Pentacles. Love him. The Hanged Man. How creative is that? Oh, I just realized I'm creeping off the edge. If I look back at this and half the cards are like off the edge, I'm going to feel like such an idiot. Anyway. How about that Hermit? Hip bones. Anyway. Look at that. 5 of Cups, a maze in the head. Anyway, I shall show you the devil because he's spooky. I was really sorry. This is what I started to say earlier. When I first opened the deck, you see the flaw there. There, you can see it there. I was so sorry when I took this out. I'm like, oh my gosh, there's a flawed card. And I was gonna send the deck back or see if I could get a replacement card. And then I was like, oh, you know, it's the Queen of Swords. It's fitting. It's fitting that she has damage. So I thought I'll just keep it. She's my Queen of Swords. This is from the last reading I did. It was a heck of a reading, you can tell. Anywho, okay, so that is my video for you of my seasonal decks. I don't think there's anything in there that is really unusual that people haven't seen before. But it's certainly more than I thought I had going on. And so, thanks for watching. And I hope you're having a really good October. And you're not in a place that's being flooded by king tides. And hope to see you again soon. Thanks for watching.